All right. Okay. We're in. There's people coming in now. Welcome, everybody. Woo! So, okay, we have to do it because we do this. It's not really a joke. It's just like a little anecdote every single time. Is that it is the evening for a lot of us here joining, but for Rosalind, it's Friday morning. Yay!
Good morning. Good morning. I know the future is bright. I'm
it.
predicting everyone's future and I see blue skies in it for you.
Yes, good. I can't wait. See, it's just such a great time. You know, we got Rosalind, she's in her Friday. We're nearing the end of the day here. So I guess if you're Pacific time or earlier, then Hawaii might be a little earlier, but you know what? It's great. Things are awesome. And we are in our last session of the day, which is insane. These days just fly by, but I was telling Rosalind before this how awesome everything has been going. And if you've all been joining us for all these sessions, they've gone really well with each other. And that wasn't even, it was a little intentional, but I didn't mean for it to work out this perfectly. So this is really awesome. So I'm excited for it to be, marketing side now. And why we're doing this as well too is group travel. I mean, it's been getting really big. I mean, it's always been a thing. But I've been hearing a lot, it's just really been growing. A lot of people are just, looking for new ways, new sources of revenue. Maybe you're brand new to the industry. There's so many new ways. And even those who have been doing group travel, there's still so much to continue to learn as trends change and, all the different things are changing. There's so much out there. So it's really exciting. And if you've missed any of the previous sessions, or if you end up getting a call during this or something, we are recording everything. So if you go to our main page, which I'll drop this in the chat here, you'll be able to watch all the recordings from earlier, and you can check those out. And then once this one wraps up, I'll put the recording up here as well, so you can share it with your colleagues, do all that fun stuff there. Now, the other thing I'll mention here is it's being recorded, so that's important. The other thing that I want to mention too is that you're going to get a little post survey after this, because this is our first time doing a group specific mini day event. And we just want to know, is this are you enjoying these types of things? What do you want to see? What are you learning? So feel free, fill that out after. We'd really appreciate it as well, just to hear from you all. And then the other thing that I'll mention here, and then I'll introduce Rosalind here, is Q&A. So we will have time, and Rosalind is she's amazing and can really help answer so many things. So throw those questions in when you think of them into the Q&A panel. And then at the end, I can do my best to get those to Rosalind, and we'll try to do our best to get as many answered as we can. But otherwise, I am excited to introduce Roslyn Rance, who is travel consultant, business strategic, the coolest name ever, at the Travel Agent Achievers, and also travel manager herself. So welcome, Roslyn. We are so excited to have you on a webinar.
Hi, Steph. Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's session. Thank you so much for having me. I am absolutely thrilled to be here. And you guys, this is one of my favorite topics, talking about groups, because in my own travel business, this is also what I specialize in as well. So I love being able to share my knowledge, share the things that I'm doing, but also what I'm hearing and seeing from the market as well. And so today we're going to actually walk you through a system. So great to have you here. I would love to know, even if it's in the chat or in the Q&A, where are you in the world right now? Just let me know where you're located, because I'm here in Australia. I'm on the East Coast, just out of Sydney. So anybody that's sending clients here to Australia, I will most likely be able to just slip you some tips. I know that we've been talking about that. I've been messaging a couple of managers, travel professionals in the States recently, just giving them some ideas and saying, what are you doing for your clients? Because it's really cool that we can share our knowledge. I love it. Thank you, everybody. I see we're all over Oregon, Newport Beach. Oh, Adelaide. Oh, there's Holly. One of my, yeah. We've got Seattle, we've got more in Australia, Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas. Wow, you guys are from everywhere. It's so great to see you on the East Coast of Canada. I love it.
There's someone, Kathleen's taking a group trip to Australia next year.
Oh,
Oh.
Kathleen, hit me up. Send me a message on Instagram if you need any little tips or pointers, or if I can be of any assistance and help you wherever possible as you put that together. But hopefully with today's session, you will get plenty of ideas. All right. Are we ready for me to share my screen,
Yeah, go
Steph?
for it.
Great. Okay, so everybody, yes, I am presenting in Canva, one
Love
of my
Canva.
favorite tools. So I'll just make sure that we're all here and good to go and that you guys can see my screen. Is that all good, Steph?
Yep, you're all good to
Yeah.
go. Take it
Awesome. All right.
away.
Okay, everybody. So welcome to today's session. I am Roz from Travel Agent Achievers, but I also have a travel business as well. So today, my topic is marketing group travel, and that's around creating a system that sells. I want you to actually put together your groups and not only just put them together in the system that works for you, but have them from an idea through to launch. One thing that I have created for you, yes, there is a QR code here. I'm very tech savvy, but I did know how to create one and put that in here, which links straight to a special landing page just for you here on this session. It is specifically for Travelify. So it's if you don't have the QR code or you can't use it, then just go to travelagentachievers.com/Travify. Now today, and in the other sessions that have been conducted throughout the day, we've had the incredible Tamika on how to book group travel with workflows. We've also had Jeff on how to sell to different groups. And I love that topic because there is so much opportunity. And I hear more and more every single day. And I also know that Steph has covered in a Facebook Live earlier some different tips and tools and tricks. And if you have any questions regarding group travel, please ask me, put them in the chat, add them in the Q&A, because I want to help brainstorm some different ideas with you as well as we go through today. All right, let's just jump straight into it. So what we're going to cover today is where marketing actually plays a role with filling your groups. I'm going to give you my 5 stages of group travel because I love a good system. And I think without a system, we can just get caught up in the kerfuffle of everything that's going on and not really understand what's next. So that's what I'm going to share with you. I'm also going to share 2 different types of group business that have slightly different sales methods, but I'm going to walk you through each of them. I'm also going to give you some activities that you can do to help promote your group experiences. I'm also going to give you some checklists so you can just take my ideas and run with them at the different phases. And I'm also going to share with you when to start selling your groups. What does it actually look like? How much does it cost? And then you're going to put together your own plan for your next group experience to make sure that it sells out, because that is always my goal. All right, so we do have those resources that I mentioned. Grab the QR code. This is a workbook that you can print out, keep it on your computer. You can go through the checklist at any time. And most importantly, also put together your action steps, because it's great to learn. It's great to absorb all of this information. But if you don't implement or you don't take action on it, then nothing's really going to change for you. So I'm going to be straight up. I will tell you everything with love, because my goal is to see you succeed, and especially in this whole experience. Okay, so the 5 stages of group travel bookings. These are my 5 stages. So I just want to give you a quick overview, because we always start with the idea where we're brainstorming, we're researching with our clients, we're going to speak to suppliers, then we're going to put the plan in place. So where we're negotiating, looking at DMCs, breaking down the experience and what we're going to deliver, and also how much it's going to cost us, because that is a big factor. Then the 3rd stage is the selling, the marketing, the promotion, getting it out there to your audience and to your clients. But here, I want you also to remember, what are your minimum numbers? So if you have a group that you want to promote, and let's say you've got 10 people, that makes it break even, that is your minimum viable product. So keep that always in mind, because the numbers are important, but I want you to think big. I want you to go big. I want you to really think what is going to be exciting, what is going to be the best experience for your clients. Then, of course, we've got everything in action where we are on the ground, we're getting the support, we're running the event or experience. And then the last stage is the review process. Now, when I look at these 5 stages of putting together the group travel system or experience, you can promote in each of these stages. And I'm going to run through that with you. So I've also got my whole system and the ideas here and how it all weaves in together in a timeline. You can grab all of those resources directly from that link that I shared previously. So, you know what, when we're putting together a group experience, I always say, let's sell the problem that we solve and not the product. And this comes from my marketing background and my sales background when I was in international education. And I was traveling the world and I absolutely loved it. I went everywhere promoting Australia as a destination for international students. And the problem that I was solving was that wherever these students were, they wanted to experience a different destination. They wanted the education in another country. They were perhaps looking for a specific style of education. And so I was selling what problem I was actually solving. I wasn't going in and saying, hey, I'm from the University of Wisconsin or the University of Sydney or Kaplan Education or whatever it was that I was actually promoting. I wasn't selling the product to them. I was helping solve the problem. And I want you to think of this as you are putting together your group travel experiences, because now when I'm putting together my groups, I'm like, what is the problem? What is it that the clients are actually wanting? Is it that they're wanting some sort of experience that they can all be together in a multi-generational environment and they're creating memories forever? Or is it a business retreat that they want to step away from the office? Now, if they want to step away from the office, that's the problem. I'm going to solve that for them and curate an experience that they absolutely love. If you're creating something for multi-generational trips, then those experiences are creating memories. The problem that they have is they don't spend enough time together. So always keep this in mind when you are actually putting together your groups. We also have the rule of 7. Who here knows about the rule of 7? Let me know in the chat if you know what this actually is and what I mean by it. So what I mean by the rule of 7 is to actually get somebody to make a decision on your product. They need to be able to see what the solution is or what the experience is at least 6 to 8 times. Now, the rule of 7 was a concept created by Dr. Jeffrey Lant, making sure that I've got his name correctly. And this is where clients over time in our travel business will be seeing your name. They will be seeing your website. They will be seeing your landing pages that you've created through Travefy. They will be looking at all of these things, but they may not make a decision on the actual group experience until they've seen it about 6 to 8 times. So if you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm talking about this so much, I put it out on the internet and I put it on Facebook and nobody even liked the post, at the moment, guaranteed, probably hardly any people saw it. However, those that did see it only saw it once. And so they haven't really been given an opportunity to make an accurate decision on that yet. So it's like the rule of 3 in sales, Tonya. Yeah. So now it's the rule of 7. That's right. And that's because our attention span is so limited. Reality, look at your Instagram feed right now. If you are looking at your phone and you're scrolling, you're not even really looking. It's just passing the time, and that is disappearing. So anything in sales and marketing, and especially when it comes to groups, because that is a very niche product, you need to be getting the information out there more than once, more than twice. I would often say, 10, 20, 30 times at least before people will be able to start making decisions. So it is quite complex, but don't be disheartened, because we're going to talk about all of that as well. So with the 2 types of groups that I mentioned previously, so there are 2 different types of groups. One is your own group. Now, if I speak about my own group, this is one that you specifically create and you sell onto it yourself. So talking about that, the type of group. Okay, I want to put together a group where I take a vacation in Thailand and I want to go and do all of these really cool things. Now that is my group. I'm putting that together because of the experience that I want to create. In saying that, when you're creating that and you're promoting it yourself, always think of your clients. Now, I started promoting groups as a ski specialist because I love snowboarding. Nowadays, it's probably more, I love the après style of things, and do not put me on a black run anymore. My fear factor, I think, has just gone through the roof. But I do want to say that if you're putting together a group, make sure that it is something that you love, because people will join you because of the passion that you have and that you can talk about. Now, the group could be something that you love doing, or it could be something that your clients love doing, and you can feed off their energy and their excitement and talk about their experiences, and then have them become like the Pied Piper that bring more people into your orbit. So that's the first one, is you get to create your own group. The second style is that somebody asks you to create it on their behalf. So what does that even mean, Ros? Like, really, is it that a client comes to me and says, can you just create this group for me? There's a few different ways. And where I like to talk about this is that if I have a business client, for instance, that comes to me and says, and I'll use the same analogy that I used before, I want to create a business retreat for all of my staff. I want to bring them together. I want us to go away for 3 days. I want us to be able to do some business planning and strategy sessions and do some marketing stuff and think about what our next 12 months is going to be, share the vision of the business, but I also want to have some fun. So this is a client that asks you to arrange a group on their behalf. So it's slightly different. It's not your own, it is on their behalf. But you become the conduit, or you become the person that actually pulls it all together for them and curates this incredible experience. Now, this you can promote and market as well, but you're also getting some brand new clients in there, which is always a good thing. So those are the two different types of groups. Now, why are these great? There's a lot of text on this screen. I absolutely am mindful of that. So running through it very quickly, if it is your own group, you can start this, as I said, something that you like, or you can survey your own clients, work out what they want in addition to what you want, so that you can accurately promote something that is good for everyone. You can also build the group together. You get excited, they get excited, and everything is created from an experience that they want to go on. So hear me say that they want to go on because FOMO is real, the fear of missing out. And when you're promoting or marketing or selling a group, there is that buy-in. They do want to buy in. They do want to help sell the group. They want to travel with their friends, family, people that they know as well. So this helps you look at your costs, because for me, it always comes back to the business. I love what I do, but the numbers don't lie. So you want to make sure that your break-even costs are covered before you even go big with it. You can also choose your suppliers that you love to work with. Ask your suppliers nowadays. They know what is selling. They know what is actually working for them. So if you've got specific suppliers that you love to work with, ask them what's selling out. Ask them what's coming up in the future, because they will get just excited as you do. And it also gives them the opportunity to buy into the marketing with you as well. So that's the first one, with your own group. The second style, because a client has asked you to arrange it on their behalf, you become an extension of their team. You're not one of their staff members, but you're an extension. So you can duck in and duck out at any time. You can also split the risks. This is a really good thing when it comes to contracts, terms and conditions. Everything is essential for liability. And as a business owner, you need to have these sorts of things in place. Cover yourself. You're splitting the risk as well, because at the end of the day, it's their group. So it's their opportunity, and it's also their, skill set to get everybody to buy in. Now, the excitement in building something together is a lot of fun. And I don't want to say that, it's not, because it is, but it also becomes a no-brainer. that they then sell it to their audience or to their clients. This works really well in group coaching environments, for instance, which are becoming more and more now as well. If you have that one leader, they are then getting everybody else to follow along with them. So at the end of the day, you're getting brand new clients, people that you may not have even spoken to before or thought about working with before, but they are joining somebody else's experience that you curated. They love what you do, and they can then become your clients as well for future business. I love all of that sort of stuff. So the two different types of groups, they are all good, but remember, with all the good stuff as well, there are also risks. So I'm not dismissing that. I think with the crisis that we've all gone through over the last few years, now more than ever, you need to have your insurances in place. You need to have your terms and conditions really tightly done. So make sure you're speaking to your host agency, lawyers, accountants, the right people to make sure that you are covered moving forward as well. So once you know who your client is, effectively you can sell, but you need to have everything in place, right? That's the question that I get asked. Oh, but Roz, I really feel as though I should put together the whole experience. I need to have all of my marketing materials in place before I can start selling. And you know what? You don't have to, because I have the 4 stages now to promote your group. And in the link that we had, thank you, Steph, for putting that in the chat for everyone as well. I have a breakdown of all of these 4 steps and checklist. So it's tick the box. Have you been able to promote your group experience in this specific way? Now, I would love to have just said, here it all is, everybody, for you, but it is quite detailed. So I didn't want to overwhelm you. But if we have a look at it, we've got the 4 different areas. Let's start with the planning and being sales ready. This is where you're building it together. You're talking about the experience. You're saying to your clients, this is how much I think it'll roughly cost. What do you think? You're initially getting their buy-in. Now, some people will think that, but that's just like the admin side of stuff and the contract negotiation. And like, that's all the really important stuff. And I say, absolutely, it's important, but you're also getting the buy-in of your clients. So I'll come back to it. You're creating already the Pied Piper effect. You are already creating the excitement and the enthusiasm because you're building it with someone else. You're getting their buy-in. And from a marketing and a sales perspective, you're starting the conversation early. At this stage, you can effectively go, you know what? Nah, that's not working. Let's put that one shelved for another 12 months and we'll come back to it. There are also partnerships here. So in the planning and the sales ready stage, if you're working with suppliers, for instance, you can have conversations that, are they willing to support you financially to get these groups off the ground? And I think having those conversations, and you ask the question, even though it might be a little bit scary initially to ask someone else for money to promote a group experience that you're putting together, it doesn't hurt. This is also in your sales skills. So let's make sure that anything that you are putting together, you're ready and you are buying in from people's experiences right at that beginning planning and sales ready phase. As I said, there are the checklists that I have for you. I do have one printed out right here. It's blurry, so you can't really see that. But the things that we can be doing, let's send emails, get people to join a wait list, prepay a deposit to secure a place. Like if you have a look at cruising, they do this, right? Join the wait list for a 2025 cruise. Yeah, so we can do the same thing. Travefy allows you to do all of this as well through their landing pages and through their forms. Create labels for everyone. Start right at this planning phase because you're building the excitement, you're building that wait list, you're building an opportunity for people to then purchase from you as soon as you are ready. So then we've got publicity. Get out there, get visible, start talking to people. Publicity, I think, is a really untapped area. And if you have a niche market, there are podcasts out there now for everything. I can probably guarantee if I was to look at, what was one that really piqued my interest over 12 months ago was somebody was promoting cornhole travel group experiences to cornhole competitions, right? Steph, is that like a really niche market in the group space or what?
I have heard it is very much in the USA and the Midwest area.
Oh, is it?
I
Okay.
would say so, yes.
Right. So that's like pickleball, right? Pickleball has only
Yes, pickleball's
come
huge.
to Australia. Yeah, it's huge in America, but it's only recently come to Australia. And if I look at the planning and the sales opportunities here, we might think it's a really niche area. Like a lot of people have said to me, Ros, you've got the business experience. You're niching down into the travel space. It's such a small industry and a small market. And I go, yeah, but you know what? I love it. So if you love those sorts of things, then niche down into those areas. And I can probably guarantee there's a podcast out there for cornhole competitions, right? Or people that are interested in cornhole. Would you
I
say
bet.
that's it?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. I haven't personally came across, but I guarantee there is. There has to be.
Pickleball. There has to be. There's a podcast for everything these days, right?
Yeah.
So I would be reaching out to those podcast hosts and asking to be a guest, talk about travel to a pickleball competition or to a cornhole competition, like what it's like, how that excitement builds, that everybody's coming together, that you can put together incredible hotel packages. You can get the flights, you can create an experience, you can get exclusive tickets to events. Like I see this for all sorts of things. Equestrian events, Grand Prix, golfing, skiing, swimming competitions, you name it. There is something out there that is a very specific niche for an opportunity for you to create a great group experience. It doesn't have to be mainstream. You can go niche and really identify an opportunity. And that is where people will either pay you more because you are a specialist, or they will join you because you know them. You know them and you can relate to them. So that planning and sales ready phase, really get those partnerships happening. So I think publicity is an untapped area that we need to talk about. I also want to suggest putting together videos, promotional items, have joint partnerships, affiliates, people that can promote for you, and making sure that you do have your marketing materials ready. The landing pages, the funnels, the lead capture forms, everything there ready to go. Because then we go into the pre-launch phase. The pre-launch phase is where you can open up those wait lists, people who have expressed an interest in your groups, and reward them for action. This is where I often see an initial first spike in sales, where we get excited, our clients are excited, and they're buying into that experience. So once they've pre-registered their interest, or in this pre-launch phase, you don't want to open it up, you can get them to pre-register their interest, even with a small deposit. This is a great way to get people buying into your group in this second phase. You can also have everything ready to go, because then we've got the third phase, which is our launch to departure. So anything from 18 months out, you could be launching this program. If I look at the suppliers right now, they're launching 2025. Who's with me, right? They're already talking about experiences in late 24, 25. Even some cruise lines are saying, join our round the world trips for 2025 and 26. Like that is just crazy. But they're doing it because they know people will buy in this launch phase. They want to see those sales immediately go up. And so for you, if you're in this launch phase right now and you're like, okay, I've got the group experience, what do I do? Here's just a few different things that you can do. Putting on an early bird or an opening offer. You might also talk about the launch on social media. Get some advertising out there. If you see a post on social media, go gangbusters, then put some marketing dollars behind it. I'm not saying spend thousands, because I think that's a little bit crazy unless you've got a massive group that's going somewhere. But I do want you to test and measure, because in sales and marketing, that's what we do, right? We're all business owners. Let's test and measure, look at what our return on investment is. Put together some live events, talk about the experience, bring people together. You might be sending out email marketing, EDMs. Consistency is key here. Consistency is crucial. Get those people onto the wait list, or pre-register, or be buying as soon as you launch. You can't just talk about it once. I also love a whole lot of things like welcome posts and congratulations that they've joined. Send people a video thanking them. get excited with them, because as soon as they part with money or they sign a terms and conditions saying, yes, I'm committing to this, it's almost like a little bit of anxiety comes up and it's like, I'm in. And then you want to reward them for that. You want to say to them, I'm so thrilled that you're coming. I'm really excited that we're going to do this together, because that excitement then just feeds through. They then start talking about it to other people. Be where those clients are as well. Attend networking events. Ask them to bring a friend. There could be different discounts at launch to say, bring a friend. You might have a referral program set up as well. So this whole launch to departure is consistent marketing. And with consistent effort, consistent marketing, consistent promotion, you will get those results. This is something that we were talking about inside our Achievers Mastermind. And one of our incredible members, who I absolutely love dearly, she'd put together a group and promoted it a couple of times on social media, and people weren't buying. And I said, that's because they're not seeing it. I said, I didn't see the post. And if I didn't see it, and I'm always liking your stuff, people aren't seeing it. So the moment after we finished the conversation, she sent out an email to her email database. She posted again on social media, put together a video, did a couple of extra things. And you know what? Those bookings started coming in. So don't ever be disheartened if you feel people aren't buying into an experience. They just need to see it more. They need to make an informed decision, which comes back to our rule of 7. All right, so let's keep moving on. We've got the launch to departure. We are getting people excited. Before you even travel, I love talking to our clients and asking them in anticipation, what are they looking forward to? The reason why I like asking them what they're looking forward to is so that I can surprise and delight them when they are traveling. I want my clients to have an exceptional experience. I want them to be excited about working with me. And this is exactly what I want for you as well. I want your clients to come back to you time and time again. I want you to have that repeat, that referral business, that everybody starts talking about how amazing you are, and the bookings start flowing in excess of what you've got right now. Okay, so never-ending opportunities there. We're talking about all of these really cool things that are going to happen prior to departure, and you are going to sell out that experience. Does anyone have any questions so far? I just want to stop here because I know there's a lot. And the next one that I talk about, a lot of people might be like, I don't know about that stage.
I don't know about that. We did have one. So from Shannon that said, "What are your thoughts on using paid Facebook, Instagram ads, Facebook groups?" And you did touch on that, on using those.
Facebook groups, absolutely. If you are in those groups and you are actively communicating and providing value, I don't want you to go in there and go, hey, everybody, here's my pickleball group to wherever, and like just join it. That's not providing any value to everybody in that group. So be helpful. The more you show that you are helpful and that you have knowledge and experience in those specific Facebook groups, then that's where people will naturally come to you. And it's okay, and it's almost forgiven in a way when you do say, hey, I've got this group coming up. Would anybody be interested or keen? So that is my take on Facebook groups. Always provide value. The other one is with paid advertising. So looking at Instagram, LinkedIn, any of the other platforms, Facebook, you name it. There is what's the talk around being paid to play. And so often what I hear in the business world is, and from the Facebook people that I know that work specifically for Facebook, it's, yeah, you kind of need to pay a little bit of money in order to get things seen if you are actively doing promotions. Now, I think that any of our social media, you can weave in information, you can be helpful in what you're actually promoting, you can talk about the experience and say, hey, I've got this landing page, if you want to check it out, here's a link. You can be very subtle in what you do. I don't think you have to be putting up massive, like big sale signs or anything like that. You can be solid in relationship building on those platforms. When it comes to paying for your marketing, though, this is where you really need to put together a budget. And right back in your planning and sales ready phase, I want you to do the numbers. And we talk about this inside our Achievers Mastermind because business is important. Numbers are important. If you don't have sales, you don't have a business. So I will be really straight up with that when you look at your numbers, you need to factor in marketing costs if it works for you. I don't want you to go out and spend thousands of dollars on Facebook ads if that's not where your clients are. If your clients are on those platforms, you might need to dabble with it, but test and measure. If it is that they are on a specific place, you might need to pay to go and attend an event to do some networking. Think about the marketing costs. When I talk about publicity, publicity can be free. It's not a paid opportunity. That's where public relations is different. So publicity, public relations, slightly different. And with publicity, tell the story. Tell the story as to why you're doing it. Stories are what sells. Does that help, Steph?
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Such
Okay.
good tips. Yes, I love that. And Tanya said, love the tip of always ask like what the client is looking forward to. So she loved that tip. But yeah, love it.
I agree. Always ask them, get them excited because you want them to be excited. You want them to be enjoying the experience working with you. All right. So we've got the last phase. So there are the 4 stages. We've got the planning and being sales ready. We've got the pre-launch phase. We've got the launch to departure. And then we've got the end of the trip and the return. Now, this is one where I was talking to somebody the other day and they're like, you can't be marketing and promoting at the end of a trip. Like, duh, it's finished, it's gone. And you know what? Yeah, you can, because the trip doesn't end there. At the end of the day, your job is to be working with clients that you love working with, curating experiences for them, not just from this one experience. It is onward. So the things that you can do in that final stage that I love being able to talk about is gather the feedback. Sometimes it's really hard to ask for feedback, and we might be feeling, oh, I don't want to ask them whether they really like the trip because they might say no. You know what? Yeah, some people will. And you will find out, even on those group experiences, who are the people you don't want to work with again. I can guarantee that for sure. But if you don't ask, you don't get. And if you don't ask what they're thinking, feeling, and feedback to make your experience even better next time, you're not going to know, and you'll be going into something blindly. It will be the definition of either successful groups or unsuccessful groups. So at the end of the trip, I want you to do some of these things. I want you to gather feedback. I want you to ask questions, even whilst you're away. Ask questions. What's next? Start dreaming with your clients about their travel experiences. You will be able to do this over coffee, over breakfast, over a meal, whilst you're out on an excursion. If it's a corporate group, you will see them in the breaks if you are there, or you'll be able to touch base with them. I always love if I've got a client that's going on a corporate retreat somewhere and I'm not physically with them, that I will be able to send them messages. I will be able to keep them updated with their travel experiences. I will be able to pop a little sly, client gift into their room at the end of a long day and say, hey, hope you had an amazing day. Enjoy this bottle of wine on me tonight. There are little things that you can do to surprise and delight the whole way through your group travel experience. And especially when it comes to sales and marketing, because you are building these relationships, you are connecting with humans, and you are creating a business that is amazing for you, but also amazing for your clients as well. So at the end of the trip, there are many things that you can do. Capture the good stuff whilst you're away. Grab photos, grab short videos, use this in your marketing. Some people don't promote if they are traveling, and that's due to insurance reasons. Your house insurance might not be active or whatever it is. But be mindful that if you don't capture the good stuff whilst you're away, you've missed that opportunity for marketing. Also promote the next trip. So when I'm on a group trip and I'm talking to my clients, and I'll use the ski example. So if we're in Whistler and we're having an amazing time, absolutely loving what we're doing, we're sitting around by the fire at night, or we're talking about the next experience the next day, are we getting up early or not, or who's going for a massage, whatever it is, I will start planting the seed to say, where are we going next time? This is so much fun, because I genuinely am having a great experience. That is marketing. You are talking about what's next. You are immediately getting the buy-in that comes right back to that planning and sales ready stage. So always think about what's next. Have something ready to go. Promoting the next trip at the end of a trip can also get immediate buy-in. I do this with one of my big corporate clients who takes hundreds of people away with them each year. At the end of their experience, we are ready to go for the next year. The reason why we do that is because we're coming back into the pre-launch phase and the pre-launch or the launch phase, and we're actually saying, let's get immediate buy-in. Let's immediately get those sales in so that we can then know that we're on the right track, that it's not going to be a flop or we need to change something around. We are ready for that. So always, always think of what's next. Follow up with a thank you. This is great to just build your customer relationship. You want that stickiness. You want to have those relationships really strengthened. So always follow up. Share the good news, wait lists, book next time. There are never ending opportunities here. We also gather testimonials. We create marketing assets that we can use next time we're going on an experience. Doesn't have to all be shared in the best stuff right now. Use it again. Use it later. People aren't looking back at your social media feed from 6 months ago, 12 months ago. You know what? Probably not even a week ago. That's the reality with how our attention span is. So thinking about these 4 stages to promoting your groups, sales and marketing doesn't stop. You're always talking about your business. So when it comes to group experiences, I just want you to think where all of these things come out. So as I said, a quick recap of this, some of the methods of promotion, grab these checklists. We've got the link there as well. Remember where your ideal client is. Be where they are, whether that's on social media, whether that's a group you need to join, networking, whatever it is. You want to have your suppliers involved. If they don't want to support you financially, is there any sort of bonuses that they can give you? Is there anything that you can surprise and delight your clients with? FOMO is real. Clients want to get involved. They just need a reason. So the fear of missing out, they start talking. And they're like, oh, are you going? Are you going? Are you going? And that fear of missing out then creates that opportunity for more people to buy into it. Your past customers are often a great resource because they do become the Pied Piper for you. If they have traveled with you previously, they're going to tell their friends. They are going to tell other people to come along on that experience with you because they want that connection. And this is what I am definitely seeing now more than ever. Group travel experiences are really important because it's bringing people together. It is that connection. Follow up. Don't be afraid to ask. Come back to the rule of 7. Put on different events. Ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. Do you want to have affiliates for the experience? You know, if they sell 5 people, can you give them something? Bringing back to the Pied Piper. Now, the advertising we've touched on, it can be free, it can be paid. What is going to work for you? Online and offline marketing. So online is your websites, your landing pages, your forms. It's also your social media. Then your offline is getting in front of people face-to-face wherever you possibly can, and publicity. All right, then we've got how can you invoke emotion into the process? What is the reason behind the experience? And I say this because there is a group experience that we work with one of our clients on called Hands Across the Water Bike Ride. It is in Thailand. We all raise money for charity, which is Hands Across the Water. It's a really important charity to me because of the tsunami that happened over there, the kids that were displaced. We raise money specifically for the orphanage that were created, and all the money goes there. We are not imposing in there on their grounds or on what they do or anything like that. We are riding on a bicycle. No electric bikes here. We are riding on a bicycle 500 kilometers over 5 days. I can guarantee I raise more money when I am on that bike ride than I do any other time because I'm talking about the experience. So how can you invoke emotion into the process to get more people to buy into it for you? All right. So last couple of things. I want everybody here to be creating group travel experiences that go from being planned to sold out. And to do that, you really need to have a plan. So in our worksheets, I've given you 30 days. Just what's your action roadmap? What are things that you can do each day to sell these groups, to plan these groups, to execute them and make sure that more people are coming to you time and time again? I want you to oversell but also over deliver as well. Just keep going, keep asking, because you will get people to get access into these for you. Now, once you create, this is the other thing, once you create, you can duplicate from that. So if you do have landing pages with Travefy, you can duplicate that for next time. Forms, duplicate that for next time. Save yourself time and energy, brain space, and also opportunities for your clients by doing the work now so that you can reap the benefits a bit later. You can link to your Facebook analytics. Like I said right from the beginning, one of the reasons why I love Travefy is the resources behind it. You can track your return on investment. So gathering in your Facebook analytics, your Google analytics, like Steph has all the resources there. And one of the things that I love about her and the team at Travefy is that education is really important. So we were running a webinar for our Achievers Mastermind just yesterday. And within our group, there was also the talk, oh my gosh, I didn't know we could do that. I didn't know that that was something that we could do in the system. So plan it out. Get the ideas out of your head and keep going, because a failure to plan is a plan to fail. If you don't put the work in, if you don't start planning, then things just won't happen. You will get caught up in the day-to-day activity, and we all see this, your to-do list, it's tick, it's done, it's tick, it's done, it's tick, it's done. But you need to have time to work on your business so that you can then work in it as well. Always deliver more than expected. Always just do one more thing, just one more thing that you can to sell these groups out, market and promote. All right, so here's some of my final thoughts. Know your numbers. Don't spend if you haven't included in the planning stage. Know those numbers straight up front. What is the return on investment? You can promote for one person, which is what I said, the 2 different groups that I talked about, or all your clients to join you on an experience. It can be a long game, so don't be disheartened if the bookings don't happen immediately, but think of what you can do to get those initial bookings in that start the momentum. Partner with suppliers, create relationships and exclusivity, lean on their experience. If you don't know something, ask someone. Repeat business is beautiful. It costs less to acquire an existing customer than it is to acquire a new customer. It also validates the experience that they've had with you. Lower your risk wherever possible. Understand your break-even point, be okay with it, and use the tools and resources that you have at hand right here at Travefy to make your life easier. Planning will absolutely save you time. All right, Steph, that's it for me. Over to you. I would love to answer questions if anyone has anyone, but thank you very much for having me.
Yes, this is awesome. So I have some, so I'm going to jump right into it. So one question is from Teresa, and she is asking, in building a trip in price, should we factor in the marketing costs and make that part of the final price? So what's the best way to do that?
Absolutely, Teresa. Pardon me. I put everything in right at the start.
Oh, no worries.
I just got too excited there.
I know, you're like,
absolutely. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, you're asking great questions. I love this. Right at the beginning, start a spreadsheet of everything that it's going to cost you, right down to a luggage tag or a gift at the hotel. Like, why not factor in all of these costs, but also make sure that you've got a buffer, because things can go wrong, or there could be things that happen whilst you're on that group experience that you need to have money to pay for something quickly. And always factor in profit, my friends. Don't just make it a break even. I want it to be profitable for you. So this is where you have to know your numbers. Even if you have a 5, 10, 15, 50% profit in there, whatever it is for you that you can negotiate and that you are happy and comfortable with, then look at that number and make sure that you stick to it, because a profitable business is a good business.
Perfectly said. I love that. This is just a comment on here. So Barbara, this is when you were talking about different things that you're doing, like planting those seeds for the next trip. And Barbara said, this is a great idea. She said, I always open a Facebook page for everyone to post and share photos of what they did, like when they return, or just like, so that's smart.
That is very smart. Having that group page, but be mindful of that, Barbara, that it doesn't become stagnant or that it gets lost. The one that I actually really like is starting a Google Photos drive.
That's
that
cool.
everybody can put their photos into, because in Google Photos, for instance, you then have those forever and everybody can come back into it and people can all join it. It's a really cool way to then see that. And so in 12 months time, sometimes we might forget about a Facebook group, but that's really good for community and getting more people to buy into it for next time. So there's two different ways that you can do it. But with a Google Photos, if that's all you're looking for, then you can use those photos next trip.
So smart. I love that. Okay, so now this is going to be a good one. So this is before this. Rosalind said, she said, if I really like to brainstorm with people, and I was like, oh, got the perfect audience. So I have one for you.
Let me just unshare my screen. I might need to just prepare for all of this. Hang on a second. All right. Okay.
All right, here it goes. Okay, so from Amanda. So she said, when thinking about finding local businesses or clubs to promote a group trip, example, like wineries promoting a group trip based around wine, what would be the benefit to the local business or club for helping me to promote it? And then how would you go about talking to the business about your group trip?
Yeah, cool. So join wine clubs, right? This is a really cool thing that we can do. If you're a wine buff yourself and you are in wineries or you are visiting places or you're part of a wine club and Facebook group and you listen to podcasts and you watch YouTube videos on it, like all of the things, if that is your place, then how to get them to buy into it initially?
Yeah, like what would be like if she was to go to and be like, what would be their benefit? I mean, so you just say like,
yeah, why would they? So first of all, it'd be you could run an event at their winery if it's a local thing and you are bringing people to them. They want sales at the end of the day. They want more people to be buying their wine. They want more people to be joining their wine club. They want more people. That is their whole thing, to get the message out about their winery. If you were to run an event or an experience at there to promote your trip or whatever it is that you're doing, if it is a local thing, then you're definitely giving them the benefit, but also your clients opening up their ideas to new things. The other thing that you could do is, buy a couple of cases from them. And when somebody joins your group, you could then be sending them a bottle of wine and saying, I can't wait for us to go on this winery experience together. I just wanted to start with, this is one of the wineries that we're going to visit. Test out, sample. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want to join the wine club before you even get there, you might get an extra 10% discount, whatever it is. Like, I would be definitely speaking to the winery about what it is that could help them. Because as a group travel specialist, you have to think about your suppliers and your clients. One of the things here is when I do a lot of hotel work, for instance, I will ask the hotel, it doesn't always happen, but I will ask them, can you throw in a food and beverage discount? Or can you throw in something that will surprise and delight my clients when they are there? Now, the reason why I do this is for two reasons. One is it's a benefit to my client. So they see that there's a discount or that they see there's an added value for them, but it also increases expenditure on site at the hotel because people are going, oh my gosh, I get a discount. So therefore I'm going to spend more whilst I'm there. Why would I go anywhere else? So I always make sure that it's a two-way street. Looking at the winery example, the second part of that question, I'm trying to work out, are we going to winery or is that winery like where we're starting?
I think that's where they're getting the group, like they're using a lot of their people clients. And bringing, and then how you would go about talking to the business about the group trip. So like when they're approaching, they're like, I have this idea. And you kind of already shared that a little bit too.
Dream with them. If you're in there, then dream with them. And talk to the people behind the counter, talk to the owner. You can only ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. So I would definitely be just saying, hey, I love your wine. Hopefully you do, Barbara.
Yeah. Pretend.
That you love their wine and you want to showcase that to more people. So what can you do to work together? and say, look, I run a travel business. I would love to get people to come and visit here and see this experience. We've got one of our Achievers members at the moment, actually, who's putting together an experience in Adelaide, which is one of our biggest wine regions. And so she'll be talking to the wineries. She also talks to restaurants. She talks to other suppliers around there, you know, the ones that make the local produce and things. Put together a basket and say to all of these producers, I want to bring people to you. What's going to be the benefit? So have a look at what's the win-win for everyone. Happy to have a chat with you offline about it, Barbara, if you've got a specific idea, so that I can make sure that I'm tailoring it specifically to you. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. I love that. And invite me to a Barbara. Sounds amazing. Sounds great. So this question too, what are your, okay, I really like this. This is fun. What are your thoughts on doing groups for like movie, TV show themed travel, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Outlander? Sounds awesome. First of all, I love that.
Yeah. See, like already you've got a client in Steph.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is the reaction that you want. So for sure, if you know where these places are, if you know the insider information, I see this all the time with Disney. I love how you guys have so many Disney specialists. We don't have that here in Australia. So I have to say that when I was coming to Florida in January and I spent time at Disney and Universal and all the places, I was like checking all of your Instagram posts out because that's where I got a lot of my information. We don't have that here. And so if you are an expert in those things, the Harry Potters, the Lord of the Rings, create that experience, but make sure that you know where those clients are. If you're already mixing in that area of Harry Potter fans, awesome. You know what they want. If it's a Lord of the Rings thing, then you know what those clients want. They want to go to New Zealand, but it's a big bucket trip that they really, really are diehard fans. So you need to be where those clients are. Absolutely. Go for it. And invite Steph.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. I love that. So another, I'll make this maybe the last one here. We could sit here forever. Just, I love chatting with you. But one of them, a couple people had asked this is, what are typical margins looking like with profit? Like, how do you add there's a couple people that just asked, like, what should a profit actually look like when you're trying to figure it out?
Every business is different.
That's what I was thinking.
Speak to your accountant and ask them what they think is going to be good for you. I think a profit margin, as long as you make a profit and you are happy with it, go for it. There are some companies, and when you're putting together experiences, and I know this from a wholesaler perspective as well, because I work with wholesalers, is they can be making 50% on something, right? But you have to be able to deliver that exceptional experience in order to get a 50% profit. The general rule of thumb that I see within the industry is between 10 and 20%. But it also depends on where that comes from, because you might be able to get a profit from the actual sale of the event, but you also might be able to get profit behind the scenes from some of your suppliers as well, from commission-based stuff.
That's cool. That's a good point. Yeah. So just check and see. I mean, make it huge profit, but then the reality and, figuring all that out. But I do actually I have one more, because there's enough time for this. This could open a huge, this could be its own webinar, but someone was asking though, how you charge service fees, or do you charge like the Pied Piper or everyone, or how have you seen, or you yourself have done that in the past?
Yeah. From a groups travel perspective, you can definitely set up affiliates, but you need to be able to make sure that you are giving them the benefit. So it doesn't always have to be monetary. That's what I want to say to everyone here. I have clients that I love working with, and if I upgrade them to a suite, oh my God, they are so happy. Right? It doesn't have to be, but they will be the ones that are like the Pied Piper that go and tell everybody else. So it doesn't always have to be monetary. I just want to put that out there. It can be delivered in different experiences and ways. There is, of course, the monetary value, but the other things, I mean, you can really do anything to surprise and delight your clients and get them to sell on to the experience. You just need to get creative and actually understand who that client is. Not everybody wants the same thing. I go back to, have you heard of the book, The Five Love Languages, Steph?
Yes, love it. Yeah.
I love it. For me, it's acts of service. So if my husband washes my car, I'm like, oh my God, you're the most amazing human in the whole wide world. Thank you so much. Right. That's a love language for me, acts of service. It's not, and words of affirmation. If somebody says, Ros, you did an amazing job. Oh my God, I feel so good. My cup is full. But it's not for me to go and give me a really expensive gift. Like, gifting is not my love language. It's nice, but I kind of feel a bit awkward. So you need to understand what makes your clients tick. And that's where I always come back to the love languages, because we are all different. We are all different human beings. We all want different things. And you just need to understand what they're looking for. And you can always ask them. Like, if you give somebody a handwritten card before they leave, you will see their reaction. If you go and deliver and give them their travel pack, like physically give them the travel pack and spend the time with them to walk through the documents, you will see whether they appreciate it. That is another love language, quality time. So everybody is different. And I just want to put that out there. Yeah.
That's a great way to look at that. I love that. I also have words of affirmation. So now it's making sense why we really like each other, because we give each other words of affirmation. Like, this is great. Well, to give you words of affirmation, this was incredible. This was so awesome. So, so cool. And everybody watching too, that link. So that link is shared in there. If you have any trouble, just reach out to us or Roz as well. And I mean, she's just getting her day going now, because it's like 7 a.m. for you now.
Yeah, it's now 8 a.m. here.
Oh, 8. Okay.
8 a.m. Yep. So I've been up since 4 a.m. everybody, because I'm so excited to talk to you guys. Thank you, Danielle. You are so beautiful.
I affirm you.
Yeah, but absolutely. Look, I love being able to help and give back and support the travel industry. And this is on a global perspective. It's not just in Australia. I've got a podcast recording just after 9:30 today. And that is an industry specific one as well. And I was asked, like, what do you want out of it, Ros? And I'm like, hey, I'm just here to help. I just want to see you all succeed. I want the best for you. There is enough business to go around. I believe in collaboration over competition. I want to see you create and curate incredible experiences for your clients. We all are in the travel industry because we love travel, right? I don't know anyone that doesn't love travel. So yeah. I want you to just explore that passion, but be really mindful that it is a business. You need to be able to put a roof over your head, money on the table, have those travel experiences that you want. And that's where, with Travel Agent Achievers, I want to educate you. I want to give you those tools, and I want you to succeed in both professionally, but also personally. And that's one of the reasons why I love you, Steph, and the whole Travify team, because you have the tools that we need.
All the
to
tools.
Make life easier. All the tools to make our life easier.
So many. And if you missed it too, go to our Facebook page, because we had where I showed how to do like the landing pages, itinerary hacks, all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Yeah, make sure you grab those tips. As I said, we miss these little things, and you need to come back to it and be reminded of it. I think even as travel advisors, we need to see things 7 times before we'll actually make it sink in.
Yes, it is so true. That's wild to me. That makes so much sense that it changed from 3 to 7.
3 to 7, right? 3 to 7. The sales process was 3. Now it's 7. Be mindful of that. You need to keep talking about it. You need to talk about your group experiences. You need to talk about your expertise, your knowledge. You have to get that out there. Otherwise, people just won't buy. So Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you for everybody that has posted such beautiful comments here. Danielle, you are beautiful. I love it. M. Blaze Potts, thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate everything. Go out there and smash it. Go get some groups. I love it. Smash it.
Smash it. That's the new motto. I love it. It's so good. Well, thank you so much again, Roslyn, and for all of you joining us through multiple of these sessions. This was awesome. So definitely, I'm sure there's more to come, which is really great. So thank you so much, everyone, and to Roslyn, and enjoy the rest of your day and weekend.
I will. I'm going to go and listen to our podcast that we did together on the lounge.
Perfect. Yes. So yes, everyone check that out. We did a podcast, and actually, while I have everybody here, let me drop in where it's at. So, okay, just go to academy.travify.com. I will drop that there. there you have it. Now everyone can go listen to it.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
It was. Yes. And thank you so much again. And thanks, everyone. That's all I have to say.
It's great. Soon.
Yes, see you soon.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye for now.